always hits me that there's going to be people in hell. Wouldn't have had to been there if somebody would have just told them.
Yeah. I don't know enough about the Bible to be talking to people about my faith. Well, what if they reject me? What if they ask a question I can't answer? I mean, what do you tell those people? Man, let's just do this.
Okay.
Kenny, welcome. Glad you're here today.
Well, glad I'm here too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is probably the third or fourth time that we've actually sat in front of a camera and recorded, but it's probably been, I would say, more than a year since we've actually talked about Revive and what's happening.
Yep.
So I know since the last time we were on camera, we actually talked to a couple churches. I know that I talked with Pastor Paul, Pastor Jordan from First Missionary.
Right.
And his team. We had coffee that one morning. And then you've talked to a couple people, or a couple pastors from a Hispanic church?
A while back.
Okay.
Not recently.
Okay.
So,
but has there been any desire in them to do it, or were they just gathering information?
They were gathering information, and it would probably be good to get in touch with them again.
Yeah, get reconnected and reacquainted.
Yeah.
You know, I think one thing that I found, at least with the churches that I've been involved with, is the relationship is really key. You can go to 100 churches and just say, hey, we want to do this. But unless you have a relationship with them, most of the time they're going to say, yeah, we're good. We got our own programs. We got our own things going on and doing our own thing. And so I think it's important that we continue, staying connected with Pastor Jordan and some of the other pastors that we've talked to in the past. You and Mary Beth go out still on Saturdays or Sundays?
Saturdays, Sundays.
So if people wanted to go out with you and Mary Beth, how would they know to do that? Do you meet somewhere specific?
We meet a lot of times at Foster Park at around 5 o'clock.
Okay.
This time of year.
Yeah, because you can go till almost 10 o'clock right now.
Right.
It being summer. And
people
stuff.
come out in the evenings, and we're actually having a good response. And we're starting a thing called Alpha for a place that people can come to.
So, now, is that a couple churches doing that together, or
just one church?
Okay.
A couple churches have done it. First Missionary, along with City Church.
Okay.
But we're having people interested, so I've been talking to Brian over there at First Missionary, and we need to get some groups going, brother.
Yeah, right. Yeah, while the weather's good, let's do this.
So we're actually having some interest, people that want to come. So, so I think things are changing out there. The follow-up has been the difficult thing.
Yeah.
But to have something for them to come to and actually find people that are interested.
But one thing I've noticed in Fort Wayne, I'll tell you just real quick. Yesterday, I got really upset. I got an email from the gym that I work out at, and I was so excited when I was able to start working out again. And then yesterday, the email came, and they're celebrating Pride Month, and they're telling everybody wear their pride colors to the gym, and they're putting up flags, So yesterday, I stewed about it, but I went right over to the gym, and I canceled my membership. And I'm going to go to another gym. But the reason I bring that up is we're in June. This is Pride Month. And so you're going to start seeing a lot more people celebrating homosexuality, LGBTQ plus, AI, all of that in the parks especially. So how do you and Mary Beth and some of the people that are going out with you, how do you deal with that when you come across someone that is a lot more flamboyant than maybe what you are?
Well, where we go, we don't run into a lot of that. There's probably maybe some other parks, but when we do, we just treat them like any other person.
Right.
Because they are. Yeah.
That's right. You're right. That's the way they should be treated, right?
Yeah. And if there's an open door, we talk to them, we minister to them. If they're closed, well, they don't want to talk, we find somebody that does.
Yeah.
So, basically, sin is sin. So when we're out there reaching people, you're just reaching the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Sometimes when I've been out with you, one of the types of people or groups of people that I've had the hardest time with are the Wicca, the Satanists, the ones that go to the Satanic Church here in Fort Wayne. I can't really connect with them at any kind of I can connect with them on a spiritual level, but not on a level where they really want to hear what I have to say about either my testimony or about the gospel message. I mean, there are some people that you just shake the dust off your shoes, right? And you just go on, or do you just try to do what you can, or what do you guys do?
Well, a lot of people talk about finding the person of peace.
Right.
So basically, the approach is, tell them what we're out doing. Is there anything we can pray for you about today? And a lot of times people have something. Sometimes they don't. If they don't, it doesn't necessarily mean they're closed.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, the second thing we're doing is we have this question we like to ask people. Is it okay if I ask you?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, now think
What's
about
the question?
So think about it. Give me an honest answer. How you feel inside, okay? It's meant to get you to think. So now, not saying this would happen today, but if you were to die today between 0 and 100%, how sure do you feel you would go to heaven?
Okay, so
Now, just think about it. Give me an honest answer.
What do you find most Christians, how do they answer? When the ones that say, I'm a Christian, I go to church every week, or I'm a Catholic, I go to church, my parents always went to church.
80%, 70%, 50%.
So you know that you have someone right there that works mentality.
And there's a lot of people, I'd tell you this right now, there's a lot of people out there that are so open, and it always hits me that there's going to be people in hell that wouldn't have had to been there if somebody would have just told them. Would have told them how to go to heaven. There's open-hearted people. They just need somebody to go out and find them. And if we'll do that, and if we'll pray and ask Jesus to send us the right people, he will. It's amazing.
That's
what happens when we talk about it. It's the Spirit of the Lord, his burden for the lost. They're waiting to hear. And when you go out, the verse becomes very real about the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. There's so many open people. There's just not enough of us to find them all. There's so many open people. If they would have just heard, they wouldn't have to be there, and they're going to be there forever.
That's real personal to you because someone approached you. Right? Isn't that your testimony?
I got saved at Glenbrook Mall.
At Glenbrook Mall. So you know where you were headed. And had someone not approached you, that's why it's so emotional for you. That's why it's so hard to even get through the conversation, because there are so many people that are going to go to hell. And if they won't know unless we tell them, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. So what did Jesus tell us? He said, go into all the world, and I'll be with you.
Wait a minute. Didn't I thought I heard Jesus say, come to church so that the pastor... Now wait, isn't this in Lucas 27:8?
Yeah, and it's also in Second Opinions.
That's where I heard it. Second Opinions, chapter 14. Go to church, hear a good message from the pastor, and you will be saved, right?
Right, yeah.
No, we've got it backwards sometimes, and I know a lot of it is it's a lot more comfortable for us just to go to church, right? And then the second thing is fear. I don't know enough about the Bible to be talking to people about my faith. Or, well, what if they reject me? Or what if they ask a question I can't answer? I mean, what do you tell those people?
Well,
these are Christians.
Yeah.
And I think they have a real desire to go share the gospel message. So what do you tell them?
Well, that's why we tell them, we like to use the Revive tools. Or something very similar. You just put the tools in their hands, you train them, you teach them how to do it. You have some practice sessions, let them run through it so they say when they get out there, they know what to say, how to get it started. Give the people simple tools, and that's all you need. Once they have the simple tools, they just take it. You don't try to have to ad lib. You just take it and you talk to the people, take them through the 5 verses, show them how to be saved, and ask them, what do you think of this? After we've gone through this, what do you think? Well, I think it's good. So do you think you're at the point where you'd like to ask Jesus to come into your life? Well, yeah, I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
You pray with them.
Especially
Doors
if you're going
open.
to the person that the Holy Spirit's directed you towards.
Exactly.
It makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Instead of beating your head up against a brick wall, talking to the person that you just thought would be the right one to talk to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people really get frustrated. Talk to 20 people and nobody even wants to listen to me. Mm-hmm. Well, are you talking to the one that the Holy Spirit told you to go talk to?
That's key.
Right?
It's key. Yeah.
I mean, we're
key.
sitting in front of the screen and people can see it says time for Israel and it says with Greg and Randy. I need to have them get rid of that part because I really don't care who's in the chairs here. It's not about people, but ultimately the goal is like what Paul said, once the fruition, once the fullness of the Gentile has come in, he says that then the entire nation of Israel will recognize that Jesus came for them first and they'll become such a that jealousy will just overwhelm them and the entire nation will give their hearts to Jesus as their Messiah. Mm-hmm. So here's what I'd like to ask you to do. I want you to look right into the camera and I want you to look at the people that are out there and I want you to tell them why it's important for them to share their faith right now and not wait.
Because people are headed towards hell right now. And Jesus came into the world to save the lost. That's why we're saved. And he told us, okay, now that you're saved, go tell them. Bring the good news to people, and I'm going to be with you. And we're going to get battled. The flesh isn't going to want to go. The enemy, the devil, is not going to want us to go. There's going to be all kinds of other things to do. Your flesh is going to do everything it can to stop you. But if you would just go, get with some other people that go, and it makes it a lot easier. And once you get out there, just go with them. Just watch. Go along with them. Watch. And it won't be long. You're going to want to start talking to everybody. So it's very important because the lost will really go to a real hell, a real lake of fire forever. And the Lord has given it to us to tell them. He didn't give it to the angels to tell them. He gave it to us. He wants to work with us. So we are the ones to tell them. If we don't tell them, nobody will.
That's right.
Nobody else will. It's us. And you want to be renewed and revived in your walk with the Lord, go out, watch Jesus start touching people. I guarantee you're going to get revived. It's amazing. You're going to be amazed at what he does out there. Just amazed. Amazed.
Yeah. Well, guys, this was very impromptu. Honestly, Kenny and I were just here working on the equipment just to see if we could get it to be at a level that we could start doing this. And so there was no script for any of this today. You can see this man's heart. He wears it right on his sleeve. He believes what he says, and he says what he believes. And I know that his heart is to see the entire city come to know Jesus as their Messiah. And I know there's a lot of times it's just him and Mary Beth out there, and they may sometimes feel like Elijah, like, oh, I'm the only one left. There's nobody else out there. But I know there are people that are wanting to come alongside Kenny and Mary Beth and others. There's others that actually are going out and sharing their faith and sharing the gospel message. And there's people that are out there doing healing and deliverance. And, you know, this city is going to know Jesus as their Messiah because of these teams that are going out. And I would encourage you, even if you don't feel comfortable sharing your faith, like Kenny said, just go with them and just observe. And honestly, when you're observing, be praying for them as they're encountering people and witnessing to people and sharing their faith with people, sharing their testimony with people, and just intercede, stand in that gap. It'll really help in a lot of the distractions that are out there. I remember there was a time I was with a team. I think we were in Ohio, if I remember right. And we walked up to this person's door. And the guy came out and he was all tatted up and he was just rough and he just looked like a biker dude. He looked like he was going to pull a gun or a knife on us. I mean, it was a very scary situation for me. But then I remember as we're talking to him, he started softening up. But here's what was really crazy. All of a sudden we were being swarmed by all these bees. Like they were just coming out of everywhere. I don't even know if there was a nest nearby, or all I know is it was trying to take away, Satan was trying to take away the message that we're trying to give to this young man. And so we had a team of people, 3 or 4 people that were out on the sidewalk, and they just started praying, and little by little the bees were just gone, and we were able to lead this person to the Lord. And don't ever think that your prayers aren't important. In a lot of cases, they're more important than the person that's actually sharing their faith with another person. It's just as important, if not more important. So, well, I think this is enough testing right now, right? I think we've got some good footage here to go back and listen to it, and maybe I'll do some editing, and maybe we'll put this on our Revive social media, our website, get it out there, have Mary Beth put it on her social media. She's on Facebook, right? I don't think you are you?
Well, I am, but
you just don't have time to mess with it. Thanks, guys. Hey, be praying about Revive Fort Wayne. Be praying about Revive Indiana. We just got a large batch of wristbands that we're going to start using more and more. We're going to get a couple churches more engaged from these meetings that we had. And so just really be praying for us as we go out and share our faith and really hit the city streets this summer. God bless you guys.